I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what her delays were going to be. You don't know at that point what the future holds.
When they first tell you the Down syndrome, you kind of get blindsided a little bit, but after that, I think I didn't know what to imagine with it. I just figured she would just grow and do it. Whatever she did, she did.
The doctor walked in and said, there's an issue, your daughter has Down syndrome. So my first question was, so can I bring her home?
I think kids will perform to their expectation. If you have high expectations of them to perform and be great, then they're much more likely to take on those characteristics. So that's how we go into each and every day, pushing Reese and Cooper to just be great.
I knew no one that had a child with Down syndrome. I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if the things that she was doing was typical for her age group or for Down syndrome.
Initially, there really weren't very many services. You really had to be very aggressive, and I'm not a passive person, so I kind of called a lot of people, what's available.
I started going online. I started reaching out, and I found the National Down Syndrome Society. We started there. They sent us a package, and that's how I was able to get the resources that I needed.
I really hope that he's able to go to a school like Reese would go to. Hopefully they can go to the same school.
The expectation should be set high so that the student, the child, is not pushed, but allowed to develop.
When kindergarten, that's when we had to coerce the school district. But in the end, the school district did a great job.
I go to school for 7 semesters at Mercer County Community College. It's half and half. Half people with disabilities and half typical. I work at the gym and clockwise preschool.
Yeah, I think the schools, in Kimberly's instance, did a great job. If there were areas that fell down, they would be in areas such as transitioning her more to independent living and life.
I work for Starbucks first, and I do work here also. I was just a county clerk's office. My favorite thing, and I do the machine when I have to run the mail.
That's a keep up of a good work, so I have to listen to my guys because I'm in charge now.
I live on my own since 6 years.
And she couldn't wait, but I should say that she couldn't wait because when the other two who were behind her were then moving out and going to college or graduating, coming out of college and going on, she so loved the fact that she got her own house because now she too was moving on because now she's an adult.
Well, when Kayla turned 1, everything seemed more promising for me, for her. We started with the buddy walk.
I've been doing the buddy walk since I was little. And ever since, I enjoyed doing it.
So we've been doing it since it was very small, and it's gotten to be a pretty big deal around here. It's gotten to be a lot of fun, so you look forward to it every year.
Going to the buddy walk, you see so much support from everybody, the families, their friends, everybody going just to support Down syndrome, and it was quite a crowd. I didn't expect it to be as big as it was.
The important thing is that have kids come together, they can have a good time.
The biggest challenge that we face, I think, is acceptance.
I think the thing you always worry about is just ignorance, other people's ignorance, and how children with Down syndrome and adults with Down syndrome are perceived in the public.
Tolerance and understanding just go a long way. There was not a lot of tolerance. There certainly was not a lot of understanding in the past because there was no exposure. So all the pieces that are coming together right now are just got to be helpful for the future.
I do think with more kids in schools everywhere, I just think, it's not like when we grew up. We had zero interaction. So I think you fear what you don't know.
NDSS for well over 25 years, it's probably closer to 35 years right now, has played that advocacy role. And advocacy is in a couple of ways, through the media and through legislation. And the more that continues, the more people will get to know and understand what Down syndrome is all about and what the opportunities are for the people that do have it.
I think having a face, and that they give a face to people with Down syndrome. So I think that's probably what they do best.
They're fighting for my daughter.
Cameron, my son, used to refer to Kimberly as the perfect child because she always did everything that you would expect a child or would want a child to do.
Having Cooper has been, the best experience of our lives.
We went into LA to the parent meeting, and it was one of my favorite things I remember. There was a father there who said, "I remember when our daughter was born, and I got all this information on Down syndrome, and then we went to the pediatrician and we said, but we don't know anything about raising a baby." And I remember thinking that's, in the end, it's your baby, and that's what's important. And the Down syndrome you deal with, but that isn't the primary issue you have. You have a baby.